A new recycling facility is now open in Jasper in a familiar place. We'll tell you more about that. Plus, Carrie Schneider visits with our friends at the DuBois County Humane Society, and Tri-County YMCA Executive Director Mike Steffi is our guest this evening on Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. In your news, a short pursuit in Daviess County this past weekend led to the arrest of 2 men on drug charges. Daviess County Sheriff's deputies say they were originally called early Saturday morning to a home in the 400 block of Real Street in Montgomery on a report of a domestic dispute. Nobody was at the residence when they arrived there, but deputies later caught up with a vehicle at 2nd and Rudolph Streets where the pursuit ended. At that point, police found the 2 men in the vehicle, 26-year-old Preston Madison of Washington and 37-year-old Chad Mattingly of Montgomery, were in possession of several different drugs and drug paraphernalia items. Both Madison and Mattingly were taken into custody at around 6 a.m. on Saturday morning. They are each charged with possession of marijuana over 30 grams, possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, conspiracy to commit dealing a Schedule II controlled substance, possession of a Schedule III controlled substance, conspiracy to commit dealing a Schedule III controlled substance, 2 counts of possession of a Schedule IV controlled substance, 2 counts of conspiracy to commit dealing a Schedule IV controlled substance, possession of a legend drug, and possession of a handgun without a license. Madison faces further charges for resisting law enforcement in a vehicle and possession of marijuana. Mattingly is additionally charged with possession of paraphernalia and possession of a handgun by a serious violent felon. Both men are being held in the Daviess County Jail on $100,000 bond. Local students will begin playing a part, so to speak, in helping to overcome substance abuse. Coming up next week, 7th grade students at Southridge Middle School will be participating in a role-playing program whose goal is to reduce substance abuse in the community. On Friday, October 17th, the program, Truth and Consequences, The Choice is Yours, sponsored by the DuBois County Public Health Partnership, will offer both youth and adults a needed opportunity to learn more about the physical, emotional, financial, and legal consequences of getting involved with illegal substances. Students will role-play scenarios dealing with various substance abuse-related behaviors. DuBois County Health Department Administrative Director Donna Oding says the idea got started after results taken from a survey.
We had just done a survey of our adult population and what they feel about the drug and alcohol use in the county. And every year the students have a very similar survey taken of them. So we did find that over and over, the vast majority of people start utilizing drugs and alcohol before they're 18 years old. We felt it was necessary to take this and come up with a program that we could take to the kids to try to educate them concerning the consequences of drug and alcohol use.
Scenarios that will be presented include possession of prescription drugs, driving under the influence, possession of alcohol, drug paraphernalia and illegal drugs, trafficking and stealing drugs, among others. Depending on the scenario, students will visit appropriate official and/or agencies to experience the consequences of their behavior. Oding says the interactive style of the program will help students to understand the consequences of any of their illegal actions.
We feel the interactive setup is the only way to go. We can stand up there and lecture to them all day long, and it's not going to have the effect of them actually being placed in that scenario, them having to go face the judge or the sheriff or whoever it may be, their CASA worker, a probation officer, and actually see what that probation officer might tell them they would have done if they had done that. So, you know, nothing teaches as much as really hands-on situation.
Guest speaker Kelly Craig Schaefer will also be on hand to tell her personal story to the students. The DuBois County Public Health Partnership believes targeting the middle school students with the Truth and Consequences program will address these issues. Officials with the Jasper Street Department say starting tomorrow, they and the J.H. Rudolph Company will be applying road preservation materials on several designated city streets. The department says, weather permitting, portions of West 13th Street from Emily Street to Wilson Street, West 36th Street from Portersville Road to Hartford Drive, and 400 West from Division Road to the north city limits, which consists of approximately half a mile, will be closed for work. The street department says these 3 streets should be closed less than a day for each section of street. Daily work on the designated street will begin around 8 a.m. and the street will be closed to through traffic. Residents will be notified by letter 1 day prior to work being done on their street. Folks are asked to please use an alternate route during this time for the safety of workers, motorists, and residents. This year's rendition of a Halloween event at a Spencer County park will have a new theme and a less scary touch. The 3rd annual Trail of Terror, which is hosted through a partnership of Lincoln Amphitheater and Friends of Lincoln State Park, will consist of a no scare hour to be held during the early part of the evenings on which it is scheduled to run. The theme of this year's event is Creatures of the Night. The scenes of this year's event will consist of bats in a cave, ghouls, vampires, and zombies. During the aforementioned no scare hour, walk-through tours of the haunted maze will take place, but with no scare factor. These tours will take place during broad daylight. The lights in the cast house, which makes up the bulk of the tour, will remain turned on during the no scare hour. The trail route will begin at Lincoln Amphitheater's cast house and will wind through the woods of Lincoln State Park to complete the trail. This year's Trail of Terror is set to start this coming Saturday, October 12th. It will run this Saturday, next Saturday, and Saturday, October 26th. The No Scare Hour will kick off the event from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. Central Time, and the Scare Trail of Terror tours will run from 7:30 until 10 p.m. Central Time on all 3 dates. Tickets will be $5 per person, plus an additional gate fee to enter Lincoln State Park, which is $5 for in-state and $7 for out-of-state vehicles. Children aged 12 and under must be accompanied by an adult for this trail. For more information or to buy tickets, you can go to lincolnamphitheater.org, call 800-264-4223, or you can buy tickets at the box office on one of the 3 event nights. Finally this evening, a new business is now open in a familiar place to most Jasper residents. Monster Recycling of Indiana Incorporated, a new indoor drive-through recycling facility, opened its doors for its first day of business today in one of the former Jasper Wood Products buildings. The new business is owned by Paul Vogelrl Jr. Vogelrl Jr., along with his father, Paul Vogelrl Sr., purchased the former Jasper Wood Products property from Dubois County for $30,000 just over a year ago. Vogelrl Jr. says the idea was born out of a project that his dad was doing.
My dad actually was taking a college course and they was doing a recycling project there. And we talked about that quite a bit, and it was pretty interesting, and me and him talked about it. We had the building at this point, and we talked about what we wanted to do with it, and this is one of the ideas. And then through research we found somebody else who had done this, so we learned from some of the things that they were doing.
As mentioned a moment ago, the new facility will be a drive-through facility. Customers using the facility will be able to pull into the building through a tall entrance along Vine Street, where staff will be available to help unload items for recycling. After staff members help with unloading a vehicle, the customer can then drive out of an exit door and loop back to the exit on Vine Street. Vogelrl Jr. says the drive-through concept should eliminate some of the problems that would come with visiting a regular recycling facility.
A big thing is going to be you don't have to worry about damage to your vehicle. You're not going to get out of your vehicle and slop around in mud and rock and things like that. You don't have to worry about nails or foreign objects getting into your tires. These days tires are pretty expensive. Another thing is that we do all of it. We do your styrofoam, your plastic, your cardboard, your Walmart bags.
Tires and computer monitors are also among the items accepted at the new facility. Vogelrl Jr. says there is no fee for computer monitors, while tires will cost between $1 and $5. The new facility will be open from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays, and from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Appointments can also be made. You can contact Monster Recycling of Indiana by phone at 812-827-9560. A formal grand opening and ribbon cutting ceremony for the new business is set to take place on Friday, November 1st at 10 a.m. Coming up after the break, Carrie Schneider is back with our friends from the Dubois County Humane Society, plus your local forecast, sports with Kurt Gooksell, and Inform featuring Tri-County YMCA Executive Director Mike Steffi. That's all up next here on 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.